Hey guys, welcome to the dungeon. It's Civvy11 here.
Well, hey, Civvy.
Okay, no, not doing that. Shut up. So I'll come back for the third installment of Red and Shooty. Our irregular upload schedule. Isn't it great? Isn't it wonderful?
I love this. I love it. I personally love it.
When you wait an entire year.
Has it been a year since we uploaded our Delta Moon video? I can't remember. I barely ever check our channel anymore.
11 months ago. It actually almost hasn't. It almost has been a year.
Oh my god.
That's not even a joke.
Well, we're ending our upload drought right now. We're gonna be giving you a review of a recent game that came out, not a game that came out a year or 5 years after we played it, because, you know...
That's right. We're going to be talking about the new SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom remake.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be Doom Eternal, asshole.
Doom Eternal, oh my god.
Doom Eternal is a plot about treachery, betrayal, loyalty, other things. Doom Eternal is another one of those modern warfare shooters. Only it's a remake of the other one that came out 11 years ago. Wow, holy crap. Things are exploding. The Russians have invaded America. How amazing. So I don't really want to actually talk about
the plot
too much because, one, again, it kind of doesn't matter. And two, I mean, there really isn't, like, super interesting things in the plot. It's...
what? Doomslayer is Doom Guy, which is like that's the quote unquote biggest reveal. Which I mean, I guess
a spoiler. I guess
spoiler. Again, kind of cool. I mean,
Doom's plot is like so it doesn't matter. At the same time, like they do put a lot of work in that. This is not to dog on Hugo Martin and like Hugo Martin is a fucking goddamn genius. Him and his team, fucking great work.
Yeah, I mean the plot is a bit more. It's a bit more like involved because you have cutscenes in the thing.
Yeah,
you can't. Well, you skip, but which is weird because the first game was against that philosophy.
Yeah, I was only slightly. A lot of people complained about that. I was slightly disappointed, but honestly, like, there's so much gameplay that it hardly feels like maybe in the beginning in the beginning it's a little more intrusive because it's got the cutscene stuff, and then it has like tutorial levels, sort of like Rage 2. Like a lot of people compare it to the Rage 2 tutorial, which I kind of agree, but at the same time a little almost not as intrusive. Like I even forgot they're there. You could turn them off in the settings if they really bother you that much.
I never played Rage 2. I didn't give a shit.
It's actually really good, and maybe sometime I might do a solo review of it, but not right now. So
yeah, I mean, plot. What is it? Plot.
The plot is
it's basically like Doom 2.
Hell on Earth. Kill the demons. Demon bad. Demon smash Skullin. Orange Man bad.
UAC bad. Kill them. It's Doom 2. You know, it's like that.
It's good. It's good. It's good simple shit. It's not hard to. You don't even need to watch the cutscenes, and you can kind of follow it.
There's not even that many cutscenes in the game, though. That's the thing. I kind of feel like there aren't that many.
There's a bunch, but they're so like
few.
They're so few and far in between, though, that they're hard to notice. It's not like
I suppose
it's not like you're playing The Last of Us, which we are supposed to do a review on that. We'll probably do that one next. Maybe Last of Us, because I really want to. I still want to make that one. Yeah, no, it's not like The Last of Us where you get those. It's very story driven and stuff like that, where you're having a lot of character moments. Instead, you just kind of know what the Doomslayer is, because he's, in Hugo Martin's words, he's described as the Terminator or Michael Myers, where he is just find the quickest way there. He, like, as opposed to someone like John McClane, where John McClane, he's trying to be crafty when he takes out the bad guys. Doomslayer, Terminator, whatever. They're like, fuck that, just walk through the wall and kill everything. And it's great. It's good shit. Yeah. It's perfect writing, because it's basically like it's both a renaissance of the classic shooters. I know some people like to call them boomer shooters. it's a renaissance of that though, essentially, and a renaissance of 80s action films in a way.
Yeah, I see that. I mean,
maybe not.
I guess we could segue into the game. I mean, there's barely enough
the
shit
gameplay.
about the gameplay. Everyone complains about the start of the game.
Everybody
because
does.
The start of the game is a lot of people say it's difficult, and I had a tough time at the beginning of the game because you only have like 16 fucking shells in your thing, but everything. That's not an accident. Everything in this game is purposeful. It's a bit smarter than your average because obviously it's building upon the previous game. It is very similar in that regards to how the gameplay loop is.
Yeah.
But it's a bit smarter because they want you to constantly change your weapons because your weapons don't have that enough ammo in the beginning.
Well, you see, it's almost as if people who were really hyped for this game weren't following I don't want to say development process, but the information the developers were putting out, because ironically I was following it. I was actually listening to what Hugo Martin and his guys were saying during the development and talking about it, and like they expressed for instance, the moment they put in the boost, what is it, what's that word for it? You press the circle or whatever, and whatever you press and you dash to the side. Yeah, the dash. Yeah, we'll call it dash because my brain is melting right now. Fucking Joe Biden's taking over my brain. So you use the dash, dash and the meat hook on the super shotgun.
Yeah.
See, they said that literally the moment they put that stuff on the Doomslayer, the demons couldn't touch him. If you actually watch the first E3 reveal trailer for Doom Eternal, Hugo Martin had to basically play the game how he wanted it to look at launch. He purposely had to change his weapons constantly. He constantly had to make it look appear as if the demons were like tougher, to convince the audience that it's going to be much more hardcore and stuff like that. Because when they put that stuff on, the Doomslayer was literally untouchable. So they had to actually, then after that, they had to go and rework the demons. So the demons are much tougher in this game. So when a lot of people were complaining about the beginning of this game, I knew what was coming. So the only thing I had an issue with was the platforming. And then that was the part that was frustrating me. Up until the Marauder.
I mean, the thing is like they have to do something. They have to do something in between the fights. So what do? You just do platforming levels and a bit of exploration, which I think there's they have to space everything. I mean, in between the fights, they have to do something. So you do they have to put the platforming shit. They have the exploration, which I think the exploration a lot more better. It's better than Doom 16 because there's a lot more shit you can there's a lot more shit that's more hidden. The maps are noticeably detailed and bigger. I want to say I think the art in this game, like the backgrounds, especially when you're in the open spaces, are fucking gorgeous. Like the art department went ham. I fucking love just going on the. Full disclosure, Shooty here played it on PS4 and I played it on PC. So I mean, not that it matters anyways, but.
Yeah, no. I get it.
The backgrounds look fucking gorgeous, and I think having that gives it a sense of scale because then when you're exploring the outsides of the maps, you're more rewarded because there's so many like little toys. It's not you had like the little toys, Doom toys that were in the original. There's a lot more shit you can discover. You can discover old id shooter soundtracks. You can get toys. You can even play the old Doom games in your hub world, which there is a hub world in this game.
1 and 2. Oh my god. Like, before we talk about the hub world, one thing I do want to mention, full disclosure, you're going to watch the background. I'm going to look like I'm playing like shit. For the background footage, I'm playing my completed campaign, which I completed on Ultra Violence the whole way through without dropping difficulty. And I was actually away from the game for a couple weeks. When I came back, I was actually like full fucking potato. So it's some of it's gonna probably look like total shit, but I promise you, I beat the game on fucking Ultra Violence.
Please trust him.
Yeah.
Have faith.
Yeah, it was so long since I played the game. So that's just a full because I know someone's gonna look at that and be like, this guy sucks. I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, back to the hub world though. How I can't think of the last time I've played any game with a fucking hub world like that. I mean, like ones like that where you get to go back to your like headquarter hideout place, and there's like the things you collect are like on display. The last time I've done that was like maybe an Assassin's Creed game, and I think that's like maybe Black Flag. I don't know if they had that in Unity and all that. Definitely not in Syndicate because they had that stupid train, but I haven't played a game like that in forever, and it was like fucking comfort food seeing that shit. Like a lot of people are gonna talk a lot about the shooting and the guns and all that stuff. I want to talk about like these other simpler things we find in the game, like the hub world and all, because it's like I miss that kind of shit. It's the kind of shit that really does make it feel like a game where you get to like after a mission, you get to go back into your hub place, and it's like, here's my war trophies. I killed all this shit, or I picked it up on the way, and it's great. I fucking love it. Yeah. It's I haven't seen that in forever in a game, so it's really nice to see it again.
Well, and to loop it back around to the gameplay aspects, because I know we kind of went off on a tangent when we were explaining how difficult the game is. I like the difficulty. I think it adds a bit of more smart... a bit of a smart...
It's supposed to play smart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit more smarter than than what the original game was going for, because it's kind of like a puzzle it's not a puzzle shooter, but it kind of has a little bit of that when in terms of like having to switch out.
Hugo describes it as battle chess. Basically the Slayer's the queen and the king at the same time. He's all of the pieces at once, and then your enemies are your imps and your zombies, which are the pawns. You got your fucking rooks, which would be like your the pinkies. You have the Marauder, which is like a queen. You're the queen essentially. So in that, if you were playing chess or whatever, you might focus more attention on eliminating the queen before you took out the pawns, or maybe you might take out a couple pawns and stuff here and there. And that's kind of how the game plays. It's like while you're trying to take out that fucking Marauder, you're gonna turn around and fucking use your flamethrower and chainsaw a couple zombies so you could get health and ammo and shield back.
The chainsaw is a must use. But the thing is, once you're in a groove and once you know what you're doing, holy fuck, this game blows everything Doom 16 did out of the fucking water. In my personal opinion. I don't know how you feel, Shooty, but...
Some parts yes, some parts no. I definitely liked the no cutscenes in the first one. I know that's a nitpick, and we kind of already went over. I definitely feel Doom 2016 at least kept you in the gameplay loop a little bit longer, despite the fact there's a couple spots where they'll stop you, but aside from that, it's not... I don't like the comparison aspect, because Doom 2016 came before Doom Eternal, so I think it's a little bit of an odd, like, it's kind of like comparing, it would be like comparing Doom 2016 to original Doom. It's like the technology available at the time and all that. I know that's a weird
comparison,
but I never liked doing that stuff, mainly because it's like it's just kind of an odd like if I'm comparing a gun to a bow, it's obviously the gun's better than the bow. Yeah. So what the hell's the point of even pointing it out?
The game is also very video gamey. Like,
Hugo
Martin also said that they when they made the game, they're like, we're embracing that we're a video game. Like, we are a motherfucking video game, and we're gonna be proud of that. So every enemy has a weak spot, and every weapon you have is supposed to exploit that weak spot.
Not just that, but like, for instance, like the pickups they glow. There's the life system, which for some reason everybody was apprehensive about the life system. I thought the general consensus was that checkpoints and all that were kind of like regarded as being shitty game design, and that I don't know, like I listen to a lot of people who talk about older games and like how they like to rant and rave about their older games or definitively better than newer games, but then they're inconsistent with what they want with, I thought the life system was actually a great idea because it's a unique take on it, where as opposed to a normal game where actually it's not really even unique. It's something you do see in older games where if you die during your gameplay or if your health runs out in your gameplay, you don't just go back to the beginning of the level or a checkpoint or whatever. You pop right back and here you go. You're right back in your boots, ready to kill the same thing that killed you. I like that system. I think it's a very excellent system. I'm not entirely certain why people were very apprehensive about that. I also heard people describe the HUD on Doom Eternal looking like a phone game, and
what?
Yeah, there's literally people comparing it to a phone game, and I
don't see that.
Yeah, no, like even Hugo explained that the reason why it's got those colors to it and stuff is it's to feed you information, obviously. Like, oh, your health is blue, so when you see blue, not just on your health bar, but on the ground in a bottle, you know it's health. It's very, more or less subtle, game design choices that are meant to feed information to the player. So I don't know, like, listening to a lot of people talk about it, controversial hot take. A lot of gamers don't actually know anything about game design. Like, just a fucking hot take, because you listen to a lot of people talk about a game and they're like, why didn't they do this? It's like, well, there's probably a reason in there. There's like some sort of game design element in there and all that.
Yeah.
That, like, if I may go off on like just a slight tangent, like if you think about like the mission No Russian in Modern Warfare 2, imagine if you were able to like sprint through that level. Imagine like how the tension and all that would just be taken out of the level if you were literally able to just sprint through that level. Like, you know how weird and how the tone of it would just die?
It's supposed to make you... That level is supposed to make you uncomfortable. If you just breeze through it
and
you're like,
you could just run
I don't
through,
feel anything.
Yeah, if you could just run through, like, the airport massacre in No Russian, like, you know how, like, all the tension would just suddenly deflate? So, when they make you walk through that level, it's there for a reason. It's there, So, a lot of people, I'm not saying, this is everybody, but a lot of people who play video games, actually, I don't think understand how game design actually kind of works sometimes. I feel like a lot of them, they kind of just, like, when they see something and they don't like it, it's like, why doesn't it work like this? I think people need to, like, kind of actually take the time to learn how game design works, to kind of understand it, because it does help give you a better appreciation for how things work and why they work. Like the cutscenes in Doom Eternal, I feel Hugo Martin did that because he wants to really... He's a story guy. He really loves his lore and stuff. So I feel like he really wanted to put that a little more forthcoming, because beforehand it was kind of a second-degree thing. And while it was kind of a joke in Doom Eternal, a lot of people kind of missed it because it wasn't put there for the player to... As opposed to now, it's put there so you understand enough of it, so you know just enough of what's going on, while not being flooded with exposition and all that, because the cutscenes, if we're to go back to cutscenes, they're not like they're not just dumping exposition on you, they're just like giving a snippet of things here and there. If you actually want the exposition, you have to go to the codex, or that's what's called, right? Codex?
Yeah, I believe so.
Slayer pages? Doom
whatever you want to call it. It's the fucking...
Doom Goober points or something. Basically, you pick those up and you get to read, and that's where all your exposition is. So, like, that's a game design choice and all that. In a way where we're giving you enough story for you to understand what's happening, but we're also not forcing you to sit here through some guy over-explain the origins of his underpants. So, I think a lot of people do need to kind of, like, before judging something, they need to take in consideration, how does this work in the actual overall flow of the game? I'm not saying that's everybody.
Upgrades. This is another thing that got a major overhaul. Holy fuck, there are upgrades for your upgrades in this fucking game.
They kind of had that already in the other one.
I mean, it feels
more prominent.
It feels more prominent.
They definitely made it so it matters more, because
yeah.
I went through, I played Doom in 2016, and I didn't pick up most of the upgrades. In fact, I missed most of the weapon upgrades.
This game you have to upgrade.
Yeah,
you
you definitely have to like pick up like whatever the fuck you. If it's something you pick it up because you definitely need it.
Especially if you want your ammo to go up, that is a must.
Yeah, ammo, health, and the shield. Yeah, like that's a definite like they definitely made it more prominent, and and again that ties back to Doom 2016. A big criticism was it was too easy. Okay, we'll make it harder, and now these upgrades matter. It's not like if you played Skyrim like on its easiest difficulty, you probably could beat Skyrim without too many kinds of like perk upgrades and stuff like that. But if you play Skyrim like on anything higher than normal, you actually have it plays more like a traditional RPG where you really need to hone your skills and into particular directions and stuff like that. And the same goes for like Doom Eternal, where that's kind of like the front and center aspect of it, is you have to upgrade. Especially playing on Ultra Violence, like it really fucking matters to get that fucking 25 health points added to your overall health total, because it is just so fucking crazy. Like the one boss that ironically gave me the most trouble was the Con Maker. If we're talking just regular enemies, the fucking Marauder.
Oh yes.
God damn it.
Here we go, the Marauder. And this isn't just a problem you had, Shooty.
I thought
everyone had a problem with the Marauder.
I was kind of embarrassed to admit it at first. I was like, God damn Marauder, but it turns out everybody had problems with this, so I don't feel as bad.
At first, I was like, oh, you just have to keep a medium distance, and it'll be easy. Yeah, okay. Then they start cutting. Then there's more of them that starts coming.
I want everybody to take note that the guy playing on PC played on Nightmare, and I played on Ultra Violence on PlayStation 4. And this motherfucker has the audacity to get on the mic and say, "What are you talking about? The Marauder's easy. I killed them first try."
and then more started coming.
Yeah. They had two at one point. I could have swore there was a point where they had two at once, but I could definitely be mistaken.
I don't think so. Well, they started coming more frequently, so now I'm just hauling ass.
They had one
dashing.
They had one for a random encounter.
Do they?
Yeah, there's one of those random encounter gore nests you have to destroy. There's a fucking Marauder, and like, oh my god, I tried for like 2 hours straight to kill that cocksucker. I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but. It's 30 seconds to kill the Marauder.
And I just want to say, Hugo Martin, thank you for making the chainsaw like automatically get gas at least for one chainsaw.
Oh yeah, that's definitely an upgrade over Doom 2016.
Yeah, thank you, because I would not have beaten any of the Marauders without it, because you need the super shotgun is the only weapon you need to kill it. Anything else.
That's a load of shit, actually. No, I've seen someone. Sure? Yeah, I've seen someone kill him with the ballista. It's just the super shotgun is really easy to use to kill enemies and stuff like that. You literally just have to make sure they're in between your two crosshairs and pull the trigger, and they're dead. The ballista's got a very specific, spot where it goes. So I've seen someone kill the Marauder with the ballista before, and it's
just super easier to use.
Yeah, it's the super shotgun. I find it weird how he says that he's immune to super weapons, but the super shotgun kills him. And so are they referring to the
shield?
I think they're referring to the Haymaker and the goddamn BFG. That's it.
Yeah, the BFG. Yeah, don't waste your BFG ammo on a Marauder.
They block the shield. They block it.
Yeah.
They block it. I thought I had a big brain moment. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking use my BFG on this bastard. Nope, fuck you. He just blocked it. It's like, great. Great, thanks. Oh, no, you know what though? The one I hate maybe more than the Marauder is the fuck are those guys called? The ones that summon demons and buff them?
Oh, those motherfucking... I hate those things.
Oh my god.
I hate those things.
Those things are the fucking worst sometimes. Like, not all the time. But they are really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And then after that, I definitely don't like the pinkies. Like, I did.
Yeah.
I forgot I had the I forgot I had the frozen grenades.
Yeah, you need to use the frozen grenades.
I forgot about those, and I went through the whole campaign without using them.
Yeah.
And I forgot all about them, and only when I started recording footage did I actually start using them more liberally, and now I realize why I should have probably used them. I thought they were stupid at first. I was like, this is stupid. I'm never gonna use this. And then I fucking watched a YouTube video of someone using it on a pinky, and the two little wires in my head clicked.
And I guess the final point we can touch upon really is the music. Mick Gordon delivers. He always delivers.
Yes, Mick Gordon is great.
The soundtrack is a lot less glitched out, because if you played 2016, I mean, the mix of metal and glitch music and dubstep-y elements are in there. This one's leans more to the metal side, so if you weren't a fan of like the glitched up production of the previous one, you might like this one more.
I liked a little bit of the glitch stuff, because if you actually watch, Mick Gordon explains how the sound design worked in Doom 2016. The way it works is that you have like 3 general areas you visit. There's the science-like facilities, the industrial-type facilities, and then you go to Hell. And all 3 of those elements are kind of interspliced in all levels, but there's like a more prominent one, like there's the Foundry, Phobos, and then Hell. And basically the way it works is that, okay, so each section has its own style of music. So the science place has got like sort of the dubstep-y stuff going on, and then they have a sort of different style for Hell, a different style for the factory places. And then the way it works is that they make the track mostly this one element, but then they undercut a little bit of the other elements in there, and that's why there was a little bit of that dubstep in almost everything. I shouldn't even say dubstep, more like I guess dubstep, whatever. Point is that the reason why it was in there was to layer everything and all that, and it works great, and it works almost just as great as in 20 or Doom Eternal, because it's good. It's very good music, sound design, basically. It's a very excellent way to implement it. Seen someone describe it almost like Red Dead Redemption's I don't know how they did in the second one, but the first one, they did a thing where basically the way it works is that in Red Dead they have separate chords that start and end with the same note, and depending on what your actions are, it'll change out the different chords and stuff like that to match your actions. So the soundtrack always evolves with what the player is doing, and they kind of do that in Doom Eternal too. Maybe not as much as Red Dead, but it works. It's just a really good. It just works.
It just works. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm not sure which one I like better. I guess
soundtrack-wise?
Yeah, soundtrack-wise.
I think they're both good. I think they're both equally good. I think they're both equally good. I don't see any reason why to put one above the other. I think they're both equally good.
Very true. So, anyways, Shooty, would you recommend?
Did you try the multiplayer?
I did not try the multiplayer.
I tried the multiplayer, and I mean, it's okay. I didn't. I wish it was better, but no, I didn't. I think they could have. I think they should have improved what the multiplayer was in 2016. I think they could have just made like basically Quake or whatever, like for Doom. You know, I think.
I mean, they have Quake Champion, so I guess that's kind of.
Yeah, but that's only available on PC. Like I make something just a small, simple, fun bonus mode, basically. Like that's kind of what this one is. Like the multi. So there was like an advertise or reveal. Yeah, in the E3 reveal. They were going to have this thing where it was like Dark Souls, where people can invade your world, and the people invading your world were playing demons. I don't know if people complained about it, or if they changed or something maybe happened in development, but they decided this was a terrible idea. I'm assuming it's a development decision, because the game's really fucking tough, and I can imagine that if you have random players jumping in as demons, it would make your gameplay 10 times harder.
Yeah, it'd probably throw everything off.
So they separated it into its own game mode. The demons don't invade your world when you're playing, thank God. The way the multiplayer works is there's 2 players playing demons and 1 playing the Doom Slayer. And even in the multiplayer, the Doomslayer has definitely got the odds in their favor most of the time, because there's also just like random bot and demons running around, and those cocksuckers are like, you know, that's where the Doomslayer gets his health and ammo from. So all he needs to do is just kill one of them, and he's got his health back. And now the demon players don't have opportunities to get health back, so definitely it's just kind of supposed to be a bonus game mode, but I don't see it sticking around too long, unless if they do something really like big for it.
Anyways, Shooty, would you recommend Doom Eternal?
Nope, they put a unicorn outfit in.
Oh, that's
I don't even think we should even bother with recommendations.
Yeah.
If you're not,
yeah, actually, it's yes. Please play it. If
you're interested in it, yes. If you're interested in shooters, I think you've already made up your mind and you might try it. But if you're not interested in classic FPS shooters and stuff, or at least that style of shooter, because honestly, Doom Eternal transcends what original Doom and Quake and Wolfenstein and all that. It transcends what all that stuff built. It's kind of above all that stuff.
Yeah, this feels like the first proper evolution of the quote-unquote boomer shooter, if that makes any sense.
It feels like a different branch of evolution for it, because it's like, because obviously like you have like Half-Life, which is kind of the next evolution for that.
But it's
and
obviously
then after Half-Life, you have your like Call of Duties and your Battlefields and stuff like that. And this is like a different different branch of evolution.
Yeah, it's like if it kind of kept the core elements and it branched off and did something else other than what Half-Life did. Half-Life did a lot of very story-based stuff, very puzzly, whereas this one is still that bombastic boomer shooter stuff, but it's just a bit more smarter, a bit more.
It has more mechanics to work with. Like,
yeah.
If fuck, I forgot his name. John Carmack. If John Carmack had the technology back then, I feel like this would be maybe not the same, but pretty close to what John Carmack would have made if he had the technology back then.
Yeah.
Not the same, definitely not the same, but pretty fucking close, where you have a very open range of movement and stuff. But obviously technology reasons. But aside from that though, you know, it is like you said, it's like it's an evolution, and it's in a different direction from what Half-Life took it. Like, where Half-Life took everything more into a very story driven and all that. As Doom Eternal's more like the story's second place to a very robust and open-ended gameplay, where the player basically has just this big arena to play in and stuff, as opposed to I normally don't like it when people do this, but it's as opposite to a Call of Duty game where it's got very like tightly crafted levels.
Yeah.
Where the whole objective is to get to point A to point B, and I don't like using that because most people use it as a criticism, and I don't view that as a proper criticism. I think that's kind of a moot point, but this is what Doom Eternal kind of it opposes, is that kind of level design. It builds upon classic style levels where it's almost like a Banjo-Kazooie level. Like, I don't know if like some of the European city level in particular, it reminds me of a Banjo-Kazooie. Like, remove the gore and put green grass down, it looks like Banjo-Kazooie because there's like platforms and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not designed like a fucking city street. In fact, if you walk through any of the corridors and stuff like that in Doom Eternal, half the time it's like, how do human beings exist in this world? How do there's no doors here. It's just a hallway with a hole in it. But that's what the classic level design and stuff looks like, though, is it's kind of like that Banjo-Kazooie Donkey Kong 64 where you have like these platforms to work with and stuff. Not that any of this is bad, just this is what Doom Eternal does.
Yeah, that's the nature of the game.
It builds more classic style gameplay as opposed to Call of Duty, where they built obviously like a city block and then they figured out where the rubble goes. This is what not what Doom Eternal does. Instead, it's like, here's Banjo-Kazooie level with gore and gut on it.
Have fun.
Have fun, you know? And yeah, that's what they want you to do, is have fun. Like, there's another thing. Like, the game's not scary. It's a comic book-ish.
Yeah, it's very comical.
I'm not gonna... because gore's not really, like, funny. It's just more... It's more like schlock. Like,
yeah, it's like cartoony, like Saturday morning Ren and Stimpy gross out humor kind of stuff.
Almost, yeah. I kind of agree with that statement.
It's not like Saw, like...
It's not... No.
Trying to make the grossest shit to gross you out.
Hugo even said, like, they put a highlight reel of, like, of those kind of movies where it's, like, scary gory, and he showed it to the team and said, we're not making this. This is not the goal. We're trying to make it fun. And that's what they did. They made it fun. I don't know if we have anything else we can really say about it.
Yeah, if you love shooters, you owe it to yourself to fucking play it. That's all I have to say.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Go fucking you motherfucking...
Jacob, the mic's still recording.
I'm sorry.
I guess one more thing. I guess we'll do a last just announce. We kind of already announced it, but like we'll announce a Last of Us review to come.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.